Here we go, the letter of Pliny to Sparsus, Sparso in the dative. Librum quem, a book which, novissime, very recently, one of the last things that's happened, or the book which last that I sent to you, missi tibi, ex omnibus meus, from all of my works or books. Vel, this would be the adverb, means actually or even or indeed, or for instance. Significas, you signify or indicate that this book which I sent to you last, out of all my works, was maxime placere, was the great pleasing sort of thing, was especially good or pleasing. Est eodem opinio, there is in the same opinion, erudissimi, the superlative, quisdam, which would be a certain person, these are in the genitive. So the same opinion there is of another most well-educated man or person of the same opinion. 2. Quo magus adducor. So adducor would be, I am led, magus, all the more, or anyway, I'm led more, that I would putem, that I would think, ut that, neutrum, ne utrum, neither of the two, that neither of you, putem's a head verb, so it takes the infinitive. I would say that I'm led to believe all the more that neither of you are being deceived or wrong. Quia, because non est credible, it's not credible or believable, that utrumque, that both of you, falli, are wrong or being deceived. And quia, because, tamen, yet or more, or nevertheless, blandior, deponent, I'm very pleasing to myself, I like to flatter myself, something like that. Volo enim, for I want, takes the infinitive, videre, to be seen, the proxima, quae qui absolutissima. So the proximate, the most recent thing, quae which I've done, so this is like a bit like the novissime. So the nearest thing that he's done, or the latest things he's done, to be seen as the absolutissima, which is the superlative, most completed, the most fully flushed out, or a good piece of work, the greatest piece of work. Et ideo, and for this reason, yam nunc, 2 words meaning now, so now, right now, in the present. Favio, I favour, taking the dative, an oration, contra istum librum, against that book, this book up here which it began with. So he's favouring an oration, quam which nupa recently, in publicam, in the public, dedi, I gave into the public, communicaturis tecum, so there will be something shared with you, ut primum, as soon as possible, when in venero, when I shall find a diligentem tabularium. This would be some messenger who will take it, someone who knows letters, obviously. He'll find someone to take and give it to Sparso. And then we have 3. 3. Erexi. I've erected, or roused, as they say, tuum expectationem, your expectation, quam which, vero ne, verb of fearing, ne in order inverted, that I fear that, sumpta oratio manus, when you've taken up the oration in your manus, in your hands, you might be destitute, which usually means abandon or void. So it's a sign he's fearing that Sparso won't like it when he gets it. Anyway, interim, meanwhile, tama, nevertheless, tamquam, as if it would, placiturum, as if it will placate you, et fortasse placabit, and perhaps it will placabit you, it will placate you, expecta, so wait for it. So in the meantime, wait for this new oration, which we see from up here. Vale means goodbye. So 4, now Pliny is writing to Cassinius Rufus. Optime facis, so you're doing something great, you've got a great idea. Quod, I'll take that as because. Parascribere, you're getting ready to write the Bellum Dacum, the Dacian War. You're going to write about it, so he thinks it's optime, it's a good idea. 4, quae, which subject or which matter, tam recent, so recent, has such a copious amount, and so elata, so lifted up, and denique, and in short or finally, is so poetica, So poetic and quam. Although in verissimus rebus, it is in the all dealing with the most truest facts, what would have tam fabulosum material. So what other thing would you find so great to write about? So that's why this is all optime, a good idea. Decays, future. You will say of in missa terris nova flumina. So we've got new rivers which are in missa going over land, so might take the nova for both, new rivers and new lands. Novos pontes, new bridges, injectos, injected or going over fluminibuses, over rivers. Incessa castris montem abrupta, so abrupta usually means it's craggy and broken off of rocks. So we've got camps which are, incessa usually means attacking or something, but it probably means camps which are stuck to broken off bits of mountains. So they're mountainous, in hard terrain, these camps. Pulsam regia, someone's driven from a kingdom. Pulsus etiam, even driven from life, and looks like he's a regem. So there's a king driven from a kingdom, and even from his life. Nihil desperantem, so that's the present participle. He wasn't despairing at all, so it sounded like he was still brave. And supake, above these things, above these actos, above these acts, so beyond or in addition, we have bis triumphos, 2 triumphs, quorum of which, alter. One of them is from an invicta gente primus. So this is the first over an unconquered race. So previously unconquered, primus indicates it's the first time. And the alter, correlatives, alter and alter, was the most novissimus. So this other triumph would be the latest triumph. 3. Una, sed maxima difficultas. There's one, but extremely difficult. Quod haec equare dicendo. So in the saying of these things, which there's one great difficulty which you have to equare, rise up to meet or to equal. Arduum can mean high or difficult, so it probably means the immensurum difficulty. There's an immense difficulty, you might want to say. Etiam tuo ingenium, even with your ingenium, your genius or your talent. Quam, and although it assergates, even though so his abilities can rise up very altissime, very high, and he increscebats, he increases with all of his amplissimus, that's not a superlative, pluribuses, with all his works becoming very completed and full. I think he used, what he used, absolutissima up there, what's used down here, amplissima. Okay, non nullus, there's something. Non nullus means there's something. It also, in illo labor, in this work of writing about the bellum dacium, that you have to deal with. The barbara and phenomena, the names of the barbarians are barbaric and wild, you might want to say, and in primis, in the first case, of the regus ipsius, of the king himself. Graecis versibus is not resultant. These do not resound or sound great in a Greek verse. So I'm guessing he's going to write in Greek, not Latin. 4. Sed nihilus, but there's nothing, quod that, non arte curaque, that not with art and care. I'll just take that as a simple way. If non potest vinci, if it's not able to be overcome, then it can be mitigated. Softened, you might want to say, yeah, I think we have mitigate in English anyway. And praeteri, besides, if dator Homero, if it's given to Homer, it also, mollia vocabularies, soft vocabularies in Greek, you know, might want to use soft, some fluent Greek words or something, to levitatem verses, to make the verses more lighter. It is given to Homer that he can contract words, extendere words, make longer, and inflect them, all things which are done with language. And so, why, tibi to you, not a similis audentia? Why not have the similar boldness? Praesertim, especially when it is not delicate, not with pleasantries or for pleasure. These are not given, but for necessity. So these are barbarous and wild names. So he should be able to, when he makes his work, to, I guess, contrahe, inflect and extendere them as well. Proindi usually means so then, or just as, Ure, by the rights vatum of poets, invocatis, invocate the dis, the gods, call upon the gods, and inter dios, and amongst the gods. Ipso, this would be obviously not one of the gods anyway. Dictura says, you're about to speak of who? You're about to speak his res, his circumstances, his opera, his works, and his concilia, and his plans of his actions. So, in might, that's an imperative, so slacken or loosen or be soft with the rude dentes. These are the ropes. Pande, extend your velas, the sails. So we're on a ship now, poetically. So listen the ropes, spread open the sails, and sequendo, if ever or when, alias, use your toto ingenio, use all of your genius to vehero. This will carry you. That's where we get vehicle from in English. So, anim 4, cur y, not should I also, non ego quoque, be poetici, with a poeta. Cum means together with, or it's a preposition, with a poet. So the whole section is, so just as by the rights of poets you can invocate the gods, and amongst the gods, these people you're going to speak of, you don't need commas when you're dealing with nouns here in Latin. And then he talks poetically about being on a ship. Basically, he's being carried along by his genius or his nature here with the sails. 6. Illad yam nunc. So we've got right now, Pakascore. I'll make this deal. It stood Pakascore. So I'm going to make a deal or an agreement. Prima. So first, que. So which that as you absolve us. So as you're finishing it off, it future imperative metite. So I want you to send it to me each bit you've done when you've first done it, just as you've absolved it, as you've created it. Imo, or more precisely, etiam ante. Even before then, antiquam, you have absolved it, you've completed it, just as if they were recentia, so they're still fresh, just done, and rudia and crude. So it must be his first copies of them, the ones that aren't polished, and ad hoc, and are still similar to nascentive as just being created or born or something like that. Respondibus, you will reply or respond, non posse, it's not able, perinde again, just as carptim ut contexta perinde incohata placere. So it's not possible to please when they are incohata. They've just begun and they're carpetim, they're piece by piece. Contexta looks like text just whacked together, conjugated means together. So it's not possible to please things which have just been begun or in pieces as affecta as they are when they're fully done. Scio, I know this. Idiqui, and so also a me by me estimabunta, it will be judged as coipta, as began. Spectabuntor ut member, I'll be looking at them as limbs or pieces. And extremum limitum, and your final polishing, operionta, I will wait in scrinia nostra, my bookcase, basically saying here. Nearly done. So we'll have a daily dictionary word. Lima, a carpenter's file. Polishing revision of a literary work, which we just saw him use this word here, which some people might not know. Your last limem, your final polishing. So patere, this looks like an imperative. Allow, hoc this, me. Allow this me. Supercetera, above all these other things, to habere, allow me to have, patere, and sino, take infinitive. Allow me to have a pignus, a pledge, amoris tuo, of your love, so that these things Nori means I should know the things which veles you want, nemenem, no one, nose to know. So send this above the other things that I've mentioned as a pledge of your love that I should know those things that you want no one else to know. 8. In summa, in summing up, potero, that I should be able, fortasse perhaps, to approve, probare, and to laudare, to praise. Usually don't see that too often together. Your script more, so that I'll be able perhaps to approve and applaud or praise your work more. Quanto when, illa tardius Curtius, when you're more slower and cautious, something like that. But ipsum te, but you yourself, I will amabo magus, I'll love you more and I will praise you more. When miserus, when you send it, celerius, we've got a lot of comparatives here, quicker and incautiously. So he wants to do these normally cautiously and slow, but Pliny's asking him that if he sends them quicker and more incautiously, and he wants to know all this other secret stuff, he will love him more and praise him more. Vale, farewell. That's it for the day.